everybody, I'm Kevin Walters and you're watching Kevin's Auto Channel. And today I want to talk about my 2022 Ford F150 XLT. Now, I've had this truck now for a month and I've put a little over 1,000 miles on it. So how do I like it so far? Well, let's talk about the good and the bad. So far owning my 2022 Ford F150 XLT, I absolutely love this truck. This truck has everything I want on it and then some. Now, the overall design of the truck, I really like it. Ford knocked it out of the park. No longer do a lot of the standard models have halogen headlights anymore. They've gone to LED. Of course, with your XL and STX packages, unless you get a higher STX package, it comes with the standard halogen headlights. But on my XLT, I have the LED. Absolute game changer. I love LED. I've had LED for a few years now, as far as the headlights go, and it's just a night and day difference between LED and halogen. So I'm so happy that this truck came with LED headlights. And most of the truck has LED lights throughout it, inside and out. The only halogens I believe are the tag lights, and maybe the tail lamps have halogen bulbs, but that's okay. But I don't know why they didn't put LEDs in the tag lights. Whatever, they saved a few pennies. So overall design, inside and out, absolutely love it. I like the way that they embossed the F-150, nice, big, and bold across the center of the tailgate. It's a really great touch. And if you do like I did, get some inserts and put in that, makes it pop even more and gives it that little extra flair, little extra flavor. And plus you make the truck a little bit more personalized. So I'm glad that they did that. As far as the interior goes, of course, I love the 8-inch center display and the gauge cluster. It's digital, LED. Gives you all your information. It's got many different modes. It's got many different types of information that you can display, as far as your truck info goes, your trip info, maintenance, all kinds of things you can do with this center display. So I'm really liking that. Plus you still have the analog gauges on the XLT for the tachometer and the speedometer. No big deal for me. I had an all digital 12-inch cluster in my Mustang, and it was fine. It was beautiful. You could personalize it, make it any color you wanted. But going back to the analog here on this F-150 with the speedometer and the tachometer, really no big deal for me. I like them. I like them both. I like digital and I like analog. So this is a great combination of the two. You get the analog with the main instruments, plus you get your digital information. So you get the best of both worlds here on this XLT. And of course, I love the 12-inch center infotainment center. It's great, it's big, it's bright. There's a lot of different information you can display on it as well, or you can go full screen. So I like the way they designed it. I like the Sync 4 system so far. Haven't really had many issues with it. As I said, in my Mustang, I had a lot of issues with Apple CarPlay, specifically not wanting to connect. Even though the Sync 3 system in the Mustang, it was a wired Apple CarPlay system, I still had trouble with it. So far, with the wireless system on the Sync 4, no issues so far. Works almost every time. If it doesn't, you know, you can disconnect it and reconnect it and it'll work. Haven't had that happen but a couple of times. So far, so good with the Sync 4. So far, a lot better experience with the Sync 4 instead of the Sync 3. So I'm really happy there. And plus, you know, there's two different infotainment options you can get. You can get the 12-inch landscape display like I have, or they have the, like you see in the Lightning and the Mach-E Mustang, the big tablet style display. But I'm liking the standard 12-inch landscape display, because you still have your touch buttons for your climate control and your radio. So that's fine. I actually prefer that. So I like that. And this screen that I have is even on the Lariat models also, unless you opt for the bigger tablet style. So you're getting a great infotainment system here in the XLT, even though it's still, you know, just a mid-grade trim style truck. So yeah, I like it. Now, compared to my RST, of course, my Silverado RST, it was a 2019. It had a couple more bells and whistles. It had the leather package in it. This F-150, it has the cloth seats in the XLT, which is fine. You still get the heated option with the cloth seats. Cloth is nice and durable, nice and thick. No complaints with the cloth so far. You just have to be a little bit more careful, you know, as far as spills go, things like that. But as far as durability and all, I believe this cloth will stand the test of time, as long as as long as you're not too rough on it. But I mean, it's nice, thick, filling, durable cloth, so I don't think I'll have any issues with tears or rips or anything like that. The only problem I could see is maybe a stain or two. But still, I mean, as far as the interior goes in this truck, no complaints. Love it. Love the roominess. Love the amount of headroom you get. I'm 6 foot tall, so I still have plenty of headroom. Still have plenty of leg room. Everything, this truck's nice and roomy. So if you're a bigger guy like me, F-150 is definitely a great option for you. Now, some F-150 models you can get the upper level models optional. You can get the workstation here on the center console, but I don't see myself using it. The console itself is nice and big. It's a huge console. It's got plenty of room inside of it. And the top of the console is actually big. I mean, you can almost use it as a table. You just don't have the added convenience of flipping it out and making it a full console table style work area. So, I mean, it's fine. There's plenty of storage in this truck. There's little cubby holes everywhere. So you can put tools wherever you want it. You can put, it's got a special place for your cell phone. It's got USB ports. It's got USB-A and USB-C ports in it. So they have finally updated that here in the F-150. I know my Mustang only had USB-A style ports in it. So it's nice to see that here in 2022, they have finally recognized USB-C and implemented that into the truck for its users. And of course, you've got the convenience of not only a 12-volt outlet, but also a 120. This truck has a 400-watt power inverter inside of it. It's underneath the rear seat. So you have a 120 volt in the cab up here in the underneath the infotainment system, and you have one in the back on the driver's side. So if you ever need to run an electrical tool that plugs in, you can do that. If you need to charge, I don't know, camera batteries or whatever, if your wife or girlfriend needs to fix their hair before they go to an event, you got the 120 standard household plug-in, and of course you've got the 400 watt inverter, so you can make those small tasks happen. So yes, overall I'm very, very, very happy with this truck. I love this truck. Now, there are a couple of points about this truck, which one of them is easily fixable, but still it's a convenience thing. Unlike my Silverado, this truck did not come with the bed lighting and protection package, which means it does not have the LEDs, the LED lights inside of the bed, nor did it come from the factory with a Line X type bed lining in it. Now, that part is easily fixable. I am hoping to get the bed Line X very soon, and that will give me ease of mind as far as hauling. If I want to haul in it, I did carry a pallet a couple of days ago in the truck, but I did put cardboard down in it just to be on the safe side, because I don't want to scratch it up or anything before I get it Line X'd. So as far as that goes, I wished Ford and other manufacturers would make that a standard thing, where the beds at least come sprayed. You know, it would be a few extra dollars for Ford, but still, I mean, it would be a lot more convenient for the owner. They wouldn't have to worry about getting that done. But the LEDs in the bed, it's not as a big deal. I mean, you do have the zone lighting in this truck, so you know you can turn on your overhead cargo light over the rear window to light the bed some. You just don't have the lower lighting in the bed. So, I mean, it's okay. Now, there is one thing that I had forgot about this truck. I have the 5.0 V8 in this truck. Of course, I'm going to go V8 every time. And I'd forgot in 2021, one of the major changes that they made to the 5.0 V8 is not only the auto start stop, which because of the chip shortages 2022 did not come with, it was deleted, but it does have cylinder deactivation, and I had totally forgot about that. And the only reason I remembered is when I had the muffler changed out in this truck, the old stock one taken off, and I put the Flowmaster Super 44 on this truck. And I was driving, and I started hearing this weird drone. And I thought, okay, is that the resonator? You know, what's going on? And I kept driving it, and I said, I've heard that sound before. And I remembered my 2019 Silverado with the dynamic fuel management cylinder deactivation system. And I said, that's the sound. And so I researched it, I Googled it, and sure enough, this truck does have cylinder deactivation on this 5.0 V8. And I was like, I was thinking this was a all-time V8, no cylinder deactivation, nothing to worry about there. But it does have cylinder deactivation. Now, it's not as bad as the Chevrolet, because with the dynamic fuel management system on the Chevrolets, on the Silverados, it had 17 different cylinder deactivation patterns that it could go through, which is way overcomplicated. That truck should not have that at all. This 50 V8 Coyote is more like the Ram Hemi, where it changes between 8 and 4 cylinders. So it's not as bad, but it's still there. And unfortunately, my Silverado, I purchased the Range OBD2 plug-in that would override the cylinder deactivation and keep it an all-time V8. Unfortunately, Range does not make one for the F150. And I was hoping they did, because I knew that particular unit worked. I knew it worked. And I was hoping to get one for this F-150, but they don't have it yet. They've got it for, of course, GM, but they do not have that for Ford. So Range, if you're listening, please develop a module for the F-150 50 V8, because I believe you would have a great market with that, because now Ford is doing that. And I understand it's government EPA regulations. They're getting stricter and stricter. And the automobile manufacturers are having to comply with that, with as far as, gas mileage goes and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's government inconvenience, but the manufacturers have to obey the regulations, or else they, face fines or even being shut down. So I understand why Ford did it. I understand Ford had to do it. But like I said, I'd totally forgotten that this truck had cylinder deactivation in it until I changed out the muffler, and you could hear it. And the cylinders deactivate under light load, or if you're just cruising. So if you're coasting down a hill, or there's not a lot of strain on the engine, 4 of those cylinders are going to deactivate, and you're going to hear the drone. Now, when the stock muffler was on there, I didn't even realize it had cylinder deactivation, because you couldn't hear it. You could barely hear the engine itself, and especially in the cab, you couldn't hear it at all, hardly, unless you really, stomped on the accelerator and got the RPMs up. So that was a disappointment. That was a disappointment. I went straight from my Mustang to this truck. Of course, the Mustang, it does not have cylinder deactivation. Now, I don't know about the new 2024 S650 that's coming out. I'm not sure if it's going to have it or not. But as far as my 21 Mustang, it did not have cylinder deactivation. So I didn't even think about it when I traded for this F-150. I thought, okay, it's got the 50 V8 in it. I should be fine. But in 2021, they did change the V8. And so it eventually they'll put the auto start stop back in it. So if you get a used 2021, it's going to have the auto start stop and cylinder deactivation. But like I said, on the upside, it's not as bad as Chevrolet has gone with the 17 different patterns. It is just either a straight 8, or it drops down to 4, and that's it. So it's a much simpler system, just enough to say Ford complied with the regulations, but still it is present. Other than that, everything else about this truck, I absolutely love it. I love the drive modes. Of course, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different drive modes in this truck, ranging from sport to eco to tow and haul, of course normal, You've got sand and ruts, you've got mud and rocks, and you've got wet and slippery. So as far as your drive modes are concerned, you're covered. It does have a locking differential, rear differential. So if you need power to both rear wheels at the same time, make it sort of like a posi track, you've got that. This truck does have four-wheel drive. It's got 2-wheel high, 4-wheel low, and 4-wheel high. This 4-wheel drive system does not have 4 automatic, which if it did have 4-wheel automatic, if you put it in sport mode, it would automatically go in 4 automatic. So I'm sort of glad this truck doesn't have that, because when you put it in sport mode on this one, it stays in 2-wheel high. So it's fine. Yeah, I mean, this one has the tow haul package on it. So I've got the trailer brake controller, power windows, power locks, Bluetooth, rear view camera, of course, automatic high beams, lane keep assist, and a bunch of other stuff. But like I said, this truck has everything I want on it and more. Just a couple things I wished it had, like the automatic, the bed lighting and the bed protection package, but hey, that's okay, I can fix that. But other than that, and hopefully, like I said, Range will come out with a module soon to override the cylinder deactivation. I can live with it until then. It's not that big of a deal. If you lightly press on the accelerator, it comes out of the cylinder deactivation, goes back to a V8. So you can sort of override it with your foot in a way. It's just every once in a while you're going to hear a little drone. I love this truck. I love it. I missed my Silverado when I got rid of it. Of course, I'd always wanted a Mustang, so that's why I did that. But got the Mustang, got it out of my system. I'm back in a truck. I'm happy. And like I said, I can't say enough good things about this F-150. It's everything I want and more. So if you're looking for a new truck, I definitely recommend the Ford F-150. Now, I can vouch for the V8, but as far as the EcoBoost V6s go, I don't have any experience with those. And quite frankly, I don't want to have any experience with those. So if you get one of those, if you're not doing a lot of hauling or towing, and you just want something to, drive around with your family, then go for it. But I recommend, if you're going to be hauling and towing, even though one of the EcoBoost engines say it can do more than the V8, it can, but as far as longevity and durability goes, I believe the V8 will outlast that EcoBoost engine many times over. So that's just my thoughts, my recommendation. And you can't go wrong with an F-150. What can I say? I love Ford. I'm sort of partial to Ford. I like all the car brands. I like Dodge. I like Chevrolet, GMC, Toyota. I like all the brands. I just seem to always go back to Ford. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. It helps the channel out, helps us grow, helps us get the videos out to other people. Don't forget, in the description down below, there are links to my merch store, Kevin's Auto Channel merch store. Be sure to check that out. We've also got Amazon affiliate links for different car care products and accessories. And be sure and check those out. All of that helps the channel out. It helps us grow. It helps us keep going. So if you want to support the channel, please check that stuff out. The biggest thing is hitting that subscribe button and that like button. And hey, leave a comment down below. What do you think about the F-150? Do you prefer Chevrolet? Do you prefer Ram? What do you prefer? And as always, I hope you have a great day today. I will see you in the next one.